Welcome to Opal TV. I have with me today Yuan Wang. He's the founder and CEO of Galaxy eSolutions. Galaxy eSolutions repairs and cleans pre-owned consumer electronics and then resells those via their own branded websites. What's interesting with that model is that the market for refurbished phones is growing at 5 times the rate of new phone sales and will reach 170 million shipments or 30 billion value by 2020, which is actually just in 2 years. The company started in December 2016 and reached almost $2 million monthly sales within 9 months, which is their operational break-even point. So already by August 2017. Right now, Galaxy eSolution currently ships around 200 refurbished phones a day and is active in over 30 markets. Part of the company's mission is to help advancing the sharing and circular economies and make high-tech more sustainable. Galaxy eSolution therefore contributes to a greener world where the lifespan of electronics is extended to the point that electronics-related waste can become a thing of the past. But, and this is a big but, in this industry of refurbishing phones and consumer electronics, there are also a couple of pain points and challenges. And what's interesting is that Galaxy eSolutions is addressing those by using the blockchain. So, Yuan, can you tell us more about how you're doing that?
The industry does have a few pain points. For example, the phone versions. Because I've been in this phone trading industry for many years. Yeah. So we have to tackle these phone versions problems as well as products not as described. So the other problem is to reduce the potential fraud and scams. The last one is the when we do all this trading, there's a very high cross-border transaction cost involved. So the first one to ensure the phone versions are correct, okay, and are product as described, because we could use the IMEI. You know, each phone has a very unique IMEI. We can use this to track the phone, where are they made, are they locked, are they of the right versions, all those information. So with this information, we know that, for example, if a phone is not supposed to be used in Germany, for example, it won't be shipped to that market. For example, like, I'm not too sure whether you guys know phones in Korea and Japan. For example, when you take pictures, you have to have that clicking sound because it's legislated as a must. So to prevent all this, we can track the IMEI and put it on blockchain to verify, to ensure that the right products are being shipped to the right markets. So the second thing is how would we use the blockchain to reduce frauds and scams? Okay, because once we know that those suppliers or sellers, they have the IMEI ready, we know that they have those phones on hand rather than just empty claims and orders. And also we would, from the IMEI orders, we could know whether the phones are stolen goods or not, whether they are blocked, whether they are locked, or whether there's any issues with them. Obviously, we can build an API to automatically check those IMEIs. The last one are being high cross-border transactions. Those of us in trading would know that every time we go through the bank, especially internationally, the cost is relatively high. It could go as much as like a $30 to $60 US, for example, and it takes sometimes 3 to 4 days because sometimes you need to go through intermediary banks. Okay, but with crypto, for example, Ether, it just takes you like minutes, and also it costs you like $1 or $2 depending on how congested is the traffic. But ultimately, I would believe that this is the way to go because, especially in our industry, consumer electronics is a high turnover, low margin, and we need to keep the stock moving every time. And also, like a lot of things we could also put on blockchain. For example, the refurbishment records for our products so that the consumer would know that what kind of quality they could expect, how many months of our warranty are left from different suppliers and all this. And we can track all the logistics, product movements, etc.
So let's talk a bit more about your business and your market. I understand that the entire process, that means from securing the old phones to cleaning and refurbishing them, and then also to sell them via your own range of branded websites, is entirely controlled by your company. I also understand that you are offering a 13-month warranty on these refurbished phones, which is quite or absolutely unique in this industry. But foremost, and this is something that maybe a lot of people in the more developed countries are not aware of, this is really a high growth market. More and more people actually own a refurbished phone.
In fact, a lot of people didn't realize that how big this market is. Yeah, like again, we have mentioned that this is a 20 billion market just on phones alone. It's projected to grow to 30 billion USD in 2020. And why is it growing so fast? Because we see five main areas of growth. The first is there's a big demand in developing countries. For example, like Southeast Asia, parts, like South America, Africa, India, and all this. People are just craving for more. And the second area that we see, a lot of people are using second phones. They would like to use one for personal and one for business use or work use. Okay. The third is harder to get breakthroughs in new phones for now, and so a lot of people see that they don't need to change to new technology so fast and all this. And also, obviously, the fourth thing is the need to have environmental sustainability. You know, the need to care for the world because electronic waste is becoming a big issues everywhere in the world. And also the large scale adoption, of sharing and circular economies to get the products from the consumers and return to the consumers, and try to recycle as much as possible so that every product could last longer. These are the areas that keep on driving this industry forward.
So, in just 15 months after starting your business, you have a staff of 55 and a presence in almost 30 countries. You are headquartered in Hong Kong, which is a duty-free logistics, trading, and recycling goods hub. So you have operational offices in Hong Kong, but also the Philippines, Australia, and the EU. And you reached 20 million US dollar sales in your first financial year on a shoestring budget. So I'm wondering, what are your goals now? And maybe tell us also about the ICO you have going on and how people can participate in your growth story and help to advance the circular and sharing economies and make high tech greener and more sustainable.
We are right now a very fast growing business, but we want to evolve our business into an ecosystem. So we have identified ourselves to be a hybrid e-commerce ecosystem and to grow it to hopefully $1 billion USD within 5 years and become a marketplace for all the pre-owned and refurbished products. So why us? Why the GES ICO? Because we are a business already with traction, and unlike those that only has a concept, and we are a hybrid model. We have the centralized and decentralized part, and in which the centralized part would utilize, of course, the blockchain to resolve all the industry pain points. Why our ICO? Basically, there are three main areas that we would determine our value for our backers. So firstly would be the token usage. We would allow the sellers and buyers to use our tokens within our ecosystem. For the buyers, we'll allow them to use our tokens to do buying and selling of our products and the trade-in on our products. And we'll give them a 5% rebate because we do understand right now that the crypto economy, when compared to the fiat or traditional economy, is still a relatively small one. So we need time to educate, train, and then encourage the customers to use that. For the sellers, because we are a marketplace, we will need them to use our tokens, to list their products on our platform. And we would also provide additional services such as inspection, refurbishment, ship and hold services, so that they could use our tokens, and we would set the right price to boost the, our token value. So second is we would actually do a market buyback. So what it is basically using 20% of our quarterly profit to do quarterly buyback from the exchanges on our own tokens. So that after we bought back our tokens, we would burn them. So simple economics, supply and demand. When you burn the tokens, it sort of like reduces the supply. As long as our demand, keep going strong, even stable, that would increase the value of tokens. And that's our way of returning the value to our backers. The last but not least is a very strong commitment from GS to our backers. Okay, we offer the token value protection. What that means is basically the exchange prices. That means the market price. If it falls below the listed price, we'll start to do buyback. That means the token value would be protected. That's our way of showing our commitment and confidence in this business. So apart from the ICO, we would also consider equity deals, or even like a part equity and part tokens, because I've spoken to some people from the family offices, and they told me that, hey, your model is interesting because it's a hybrid model. You marry up the traditional with the newest, blockchain technology that we want to play a part. We don't want to miss out on this. Would you consider like even equity? After some thoughts, we thought that it's interesting, yet we are really open to that because our aim is really to become an ecosystem. We want to grow it fast because there's no leader in this industry yet. It's still a very fragmented industry, and I think there's a chance for us to become the market leader, and hence we need your support.